Test, test, test. Make sure the microphone is working. All right, and we're on. What's going on, good everybody? Good evening and things like that. If I go in and out as far as the stream, that is because I am helping my kids with their homework. It's a lot of stuff going on. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on this podcast. And if you don't get this now, appreciate the people who get it later or who listen to it when they're at work, working out, driving, or anything like that. So I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me for so long and everything like that. So truly a blessing. Um, Make sure if you have not, as you are listening, make sure you subscribe to the Take It Home podcast, the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, just go to the type this in on YouTube. I should be the first one. There's like another one, but make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel. That is the channel up here in this corner. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We have all our matches from Press Start 2 available. You can watch it. You can watch the matches individually, or today I uploaded all of the matches, so that is up to your pleasure. It's a lot of C3. We're getting ready for another show, and I cannot wait. All right, before we go any further, you guys know that I also show where I'm at and who I support. If you would like me to support your business and everything, hit me up. Hit me up, and we'll work out on that. Less than 2 weeks away. We have now and forever. This is the 12th anniversary premium live event for Now That's Wrestling. It's going to be a great show. Hold on, as I'm going to take care of my kids that are yelling. Because my wife, Mama Bear, is going to be very angry. All right. Sorry about that. Actually, watch this real quick while I take care of some. Sorry about that. Fatherly duties. But 12-year anniversary premium live event for Now That's Wrestling. It is now and forever. We have the lineup. We have the lineup. It's available on their Facebook page. I didn't get a chance to download it because I had to go get my child late. But one match that I'm definitely looking forward to is Mike Jarrett versus me, Classic Alpha, for the Now That's Wrestling Championship. You know, this is a guy that has done a lot of things to me and done a lot of things to the great fans and things like that. It's like the more I think about it, the more upset I get because, you know, I let a lot of stuff slide and I won't let anything slide. So this one I actually do take personal. You know, I always say take advice professional, not personal, but this one I take personal. So you want to see this live. You definitely will want to see this live. You're going to see a side of me you have never seen before because there are some things that we have to discuss and some things we have to let out, and that may be fist. So get off of this. Sorry about that. All right. Also, March, True Privilege Wrestling, they are back again with Tough Love. Tough Luck. I don't know why I was about to say love. I guess because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Tough Luck. It's March 4th, 2023, Maywood, Illinois, Maywood Park District. $20 general admission, $25 for front row. You can get tickets available on Eventbrite. Get those tickets now. It's going to be a great show and everything. So shout out to Just Amazing and KO Kendra. It's going to be great. All right. We also have in March, I got to get a single graphic up. We have Road to Honor, which is going to be a great show. I understand why it's called Road to Honor now, and it's kind of dope. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag on certain things, but we're back at the Dome. Road to Honor. Saturday, March 25th. It's going to be very great for Now That's Wrestling. And then June 10th, there's going to be shows between March and June that I'm a part of, but this is what I have right now. And then June 10th, we have 10, show of all shows. June 10th, not Juneteenth, June the 10th, not June the 19th. On the Square Sports Academy, we are back there for a third time. Shout out to On the Square Sports Academy. They do a lot of things, parties, events, things for the community. So shout out to them. Thank you for giving me a opportunity and a chance to show professional wrestling in the area to family, friends, and everything like that. And I'm thankful for people who supported me outside, wrestlers, fans, just people. So shout out to them. Shout out to everything we're doing. We are sponsored by Limelight Comics. Check out their content, limelightcomics.com. You guys seen countless commercials of me saying everything that they have. Subscribe to them, get some of the stuff, get some of the newer stuff. You can get things physical and you can get things digital as well. Now, let's talk about it. The name of this live is Get Up, Get Out, and Do Something. This is Monday. So usually a lot of people who are social media influencers or people who are digital creators, content creators, like it's a difference, but I don't really subscribe to it. I know what they say when they say that. But this is Motivation Monday. Hopefully people will ask questions. We'll also give words of encouragement as well. But I'm here to talk to the wrestler. I'm also here to talk to the promoter as well. And even people who want to get into the business. I want to talk to these people today. I'm only going to be here for a little bit because, man, it's a lot of homework that I have to check with these babies. But anyway, let's start. All right. As a wrestler, one of the best things I can tell you is bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. If you believe that you can do this, if you believe that you can wrestle, if you can believe all of it, practice, invest in yourself. That's what I mean when I say bet high on yourself. You invest in yourself. You go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you work on promos, you study matches and things like that. You travel, you look at things, you study, you look at your old matches, you ask people who've been in the business for a while. That's not just in it for themselves. You ask them for advice, or could you look at my match, please? Could you see this? What can I do better and stuff like that? These are things that I've done as a wrestler, and I still do from time to time. You know, it's okay to learn. Everybody thinks they're right all the time, and that's not the case. I think it's always a great thing to also always ask people for help. And if these people you trust, or you know, it's people that's highly respected, and if they have time, because I'm sure they're busy, we're all busy, they will help you with a lot of things. You know, some charge, some don't, you know, but some people actually want the better of the business than anything. So always bet on yourself. That's what I mean when I say bet high on yourself. Invest time, perfect your craft, study, try things that are different but safe at the same time. We're looking at wrestling now. A lot of people are doing a lot of dangerous things. A lot of people aren't even going to training. So it's kind of easy to stand out. The issue is, I know and I understand, and I'm going to talk about that. Sometimes people is like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I think a lot of people are subscribing to that. And then now they're ditching practice, and they're ditching promo classes. They're ditching training. You know, a lot of people are coming up making wrestling companies or having training facilities. And I'm not, you know, knocking you doing that. But if the quality is bad, the quality is bad. You know, there's a lot of money that could be made here. But at the same time, you got to make sure you're investing your money in high quality training and things like that. So you ask them about training. You should ask them about promos and things like that. You know, it's, you know, training shouldn't just consist on Canadian destroyers and dive out spots and stuff like that. You have to learn the fundamentals before you do that. And if you are a trainer and you do train people how to do these things first before bumping, people can tell. You get what I'm saying? So it's okay with that. That's why I say if you are a wrestler or you're aspiring to be a wrestler, make sure you do a background check on who's taking your money. It's so easy now. And I think that trainers, if you're a legit trainer, you want to protect the business and you want to show the best, because these people are putting money in your hand. Unfortunately, you do have a lot of people that just takes people money and then just run with it and say, hey, just do this and that. You know, a lot of people have the God complex of when you run a company and when you promote, because, you know, a lot of people are going to fill your inbox and say they'll do anything to show up. Excuse that. That's my son in his blender with the food. But anyway, invest in yourself is very important. That's so distracting. I can't be doing this now. Got my daughter screaming. But anyway, very important to invest in yourself. That's the thing with investing. Investing is not just money, and we're going to talk about that as well. But, you know, studying, looking at wrestlers, maybe your size and things like that. Not saying that you have to copy and paste everything that the wrestler or wrestlers do, but look at how they do psychology. Look at how they walk around. You know, some people, when you wrestle, you got to look like a wrestler. You have to carry yourself like a wrestler. You have to move like a wrestler. Like when you see a basketball player or a boxer or something like that, you know, you see that, you like, oh, well, you know that they're business and stuff like that. You know, I always had a thing with posture, especially me. I used to struggle with, hey, man, suck it in, stand up straight, you know, look presentable. You know, if you don't look presentable, you may lose the crowd. And that's always the worst thing to do, is to lose the crowd, because sometimes you only get one shot. Shout out to Eminem, you better lose yourself. You only get one shot to actually get people involved and interested in the match. So it's like, if you don't look believable, you have to look believable. That's just one of these things. So investing in yourself, you know, you're also going to have to realize that some people will not answer you when you want to be booked. I can't believe everything goes on. Yeah, you know what? Y'all been with me for what, 2 years now, so y'all already know what it is. We're just gonna rock through this. Just know that everybody is not gonna respond to you, even if you want to be booked. You know, some people are like, you know, the world don't owe you anything, and that's the truth. And I think that a lot of people get mad because people don't respond to you. Now, if they don't respond to you, just go to somebody else and ask another company, you know, move on and stuff like that. That's just a part of the thing of the business. You know, if you really care about wrestling, if you want to go places and stuff like that, some people travel hours to try to wrestle, and they try to do the best thing that they can, you know, they try to do the best thing that they can do. Some people are loyal to companies, and sometimes these companies aren't loyal to them back. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with traveling. There's nothing wrong with investing that time and stuff like that. Make sure you can afford it though. Make sure you can afford the trip there. Make sure you can afford the trip back. But I do know that a lot of people, they get turned off or they get messed up with the business because they'll be like, oh, well, I want to retire because nobody's booking me and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, sometimes you do have to work hard. You know, it's like even getting a job. Sometimes you can't just get a job. Sometimes you just have to consistently apply, show what you can do and stuff like that. This and then that same company that don't want to book you or not interested, as soon as you show up on a WWE platform or Dark or something like that, they'll turn around and, hey, why don't you come to do our show? Sorry, I was busy. But that's up to you if you want to do that. So, you know, just because somebody say no, that doesn't mean that you're not worth it or anything like that. You know, you should know your own worth. That's also another key point, is this hot water heater is going off while I'm going live. Invest in yourself and believe in yourself and know your worth. You know, there are plenty of times where I've asked people about bookings and either they hit me up or they say they're going to use me. And sometimes they use me and sometimes they don't. Me as a promoter, me as a booker as well, you know, I wish I could keep everybody that I book and book them for shows consistently, but stuff happens. Either they have to work or another show, or I have a plan for other wrestlers and things like that. And I'll be clear, I'll be transparent on that. Sometimes it's a budget that we're trying to uphold. We're not trying to spend more than what we want because it's me and my wife's company. These kind of things happen. You get what I'm saying? And at the same time, a lot of people, you know, feel a certain way. You know, I felt certain ways about certain companies too that say, hey, we're going to bring you back. Hey, we're family. Hey, we're this. The next show, they don't book me. Oh, well, we decide to do this, or they don't book me at all. And I don't even take it personal. It's not even worth it no more. I know my worth. I know what I can do, and I know I'm a great wrestler. But I also know I need this, and I need to try practice and train and stuff like that because I'm not perfect. I can do things different and stuff like that. If they call me back, cool. If they don't call me back, cool. That's just a part of the business, you know. A lot of people do butter you up because they want to use you for something, and then sometimes at the end of the day, they may just not see it in you anymore. And I know that's hurtful to hear, but it's the truth, you know. And sometimes your pay might be too high, and maybe they feel like you need to be cheaper and stuff like that and things like that. And sometimes they know you're not going to negotiate. Those kind of things happen. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, there's so many companies out here. It's not a lot of professionals out here, but there's a lot of companies out here that do great jobs and things like that. But you can also like message them and try to see if you can get an opportunity to wrestle for them and stuff like that. You know, some people go to wrestling shows and say, hey, I'll help with security, or I'll help with ring crew. I'll help being security and things like that so I can be booked. You know, some people do that old school thing where like, hey, if you actually care for the company, why don't you put your money where the mouth is? Why don't you buy a ticket to the show? I've had people do it to me, and I've never really said, hey, you could just buy a ticket to the show. But I've had people come and buy tickets and also set up ring and do things and help out and things like that. So I'm like, okay, well, you do care about being booked and things like that. Like this is something that you just want to show. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it does work to actually show that you care for the company. Because me, as a promoter, some people, we know that it's just another day in the office for them. You know, some people may not care for the company because they want to get paid at the end of the day and things like that. And, you know, they're not paid to care. They're paid to do a performance. I'm grateful enough to have people who actually do care. Majority do care, and they try to help, and they say, okay, we'll do this and do that. And then sometimes I've listened to them talk about certain things that should be done better. People who have ran companies before, who have been a part of top popular companies and things like that. And it's like I said, I don't even take it personal because if it can be better, it can be better because I want my platform to grow. And then the platform grows. Me and my wife's company, we grows and stuff like that. The wrestlers' popularity grow, more money in their pocket, subscriptions to whatever they're doing and things like that. Followers and people will pay to see them. So that's always a good thing about like, hey, if somebody says no to you, go to another company or contact people, but also do your background checks. promoters do background checks, or they should do background checks on who they book, because there's a lot of predators and nasty people out here. So you need to always do your own research. You should also research promoters, because you got some promoters that are very hateful, very evil, want you to pay them and all kind of stuff, misuse people, abuse people, and things like that. But you do have people that will sweep it under the rug and wrestle for them. You know, some people are really on that, hey, big dog, I just want to put my boots on and wrestle. I'm not with no sides or nothing like that. And hey, that's your choice. If you feel like that, then by all means and things like that. Me, when I talk on the platform, my platform or anything, I don't hold anything back if I'm asked about it. You know, I'm going to be very honest and very clear about what I want to speak about and how I want to speak about it, you know, because I'm not trying to impress anybody. Now, do I want subscribers? Yes. Followers? Yes. I want all of that. But I'm going to be honest with it. I'm going to not be like on the fence about certain things if I really feel a certain way, especially if you follow me on Facebook or add me on Facebook as a friend or anything else. You know, I feel a certain way. I'm not going to sit here and be like, try to lie and like put, you know, smoke and mirrors like the Cody Rhodes song. I'm actually going to try to be honest and tell you guys how I feel. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, I didn't know that, or this wasn't as perfect, or, you know, my mindset isn't perfect, or this is what I ran with. You do have these kind of things. Invest in gear. Make sure you get some professional gear. You know, you do have places like eLucha and MTZ Wear, a lot of spots that have wrestling gear and stuff like that. You can always get gear there. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with getting used gear and stuff like that. Just make it look presentable. You know, when I first started, my trainer was like, get boots. And then I didn't want to get boots at the time. But then I remember people would even try to get costume boots. You know, costume boots zip up on the side and stuff. And they looked horrible. And it's just like, yeah, I'm going to definitely get some boots. I got sick of wearing my Asics. I got sick of wearing them. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to just go get me some boots. You know, boots are a good investment. Some people don't feel comfortable in them. I love my boots. I've bought 3 pairs since I started wrestling. I had a black pair, I had a black and white pair, and then now I got the current flame ones that I have. Those are fire, by the way. But going into that, that's also a thing too. You also, you know, if you want custom gear, there's a lot of people doing custom gear. Do your background check on custom gear as well. It's very important to do your background check on custom gear, because some people do take your money and some people use the money you paid for to cover the expenses of somebody else's gear who may be a popular wrestler or back orders and stuff like that. So make sure, like, you look at reviews and you talk and you look at Facebook posts. You know, I got burned bad by somebody who was a bad business person or whatever like that. Champion City Gear. A lot of people are still like that. So make sure it's always an investment. And things with investment is that sometimes you do risk losing money, or you risk being lied to or misused and things like that. But there's a lesson in that. You get what I'm saying? So that's always a very important thing to do for gear. But or you could just go online and go to a credible source. If you just want a singlet with your name on it, you can do things like that. Or you can make gear. You got a lot of people who make professional wrestling gear who either wrestle or who don't. And I also want to talk about that real quick. You know, a lot of us as wrestlers, some of us have other jobs and we also have other talents. And I think that that'll be pretty dope to network together on that. But sometimes it works and sometimes it does not, because a lot of people have egos and things like that. Some people know how to make shirts. Some people know how to make gear. Some people know how to edit videos. Some people know how to draw and do edits and stuff like that. It's just like we can do things on our own, but sometimes we just don't trust each other because of the egos and stuff and the things that excuse me, that we have. But going back into that, yeah, always try to get some decent gear. You know, if you are getting used gear, make sure it's not super used to where it messes up as soon as you get it. But that's always a very important thing. As far as like promo wise, like to me, promos should be practiced and trained. Like trainers should be training people as far as a promo or whatever like that. You know, when it shouldn't be I don't feel like doing it because I'm not that good at it. I'm not even saying you got to be the perfect person to do it, but it's just like that's a part of wrestling. And what really gets me is that a lot of people in a lot of companies, they think that you don't need to do those anymore. Just show wrestling and stuff like that. And then when you do have a wrestler that does do a promo, they get ate up. The person who doesn't do the promo get ate up by the promo guy, and then now the fans don't even care about the wrestler no more. It's like it doesn't matter how much talent or whatever like that. I remember who was it? Adam Cole and Karrion Kross, right? So NXT and Adam Cole, he really did go in on Karrion Kross. And mind you, a lot of people before that was Team Karrion Kross. They was really liking this guy's gimmick. They liked Scarlett. They liked all of it. But as soon as the Adam Cole got on the mic and ripped him a new one and said what he was and how he is and what he represented, a lot of people was just like, I don't care about this guy anymore. This guy is boring. This guy is this and this guy is that. And that's the thing. You're in you're in a developmental of the number one company, and you're not even developing promo skills and things like that. You just never know. Some people's promo game is stronger than their actual wrestling skill, and that can actually help you get bookings and things like that. You know, when I'm booked for a show or whatever, I'm going to give them a promo because that's a part of wrestling. That's a part of investing in yourself. It's not always about remembering moves and spots and everything like that. It's also about promotion. You're promoting yourself. Who is this person? Who are you? What are you doing? How long have you been doing it? If you have to say that, why are you mad at this person? Why are you going to win this and stuff like that? Nowadays, everybody just does the same generic promo. It's either in the car or it's outside, and then it's like it's no flair, it's no pizzazz in it because trainers are just like, oh, okay, well, we just want you to learn moves, and I'm like, this is the part. This promos are a part of wrestling. That's all I'm going to say. You know, you can look at a whole bunch of guys online who do promos. You can study that. You can look at that. You can find your own thing. You know, if you want to accent whatever character you are, I think it's very important to try to figure out how promos are, how your promo should be developed and things like that. You know, sometimes it's an extension of your personality. To me, I just think that a lot of people refuse to do them because it wasn't a priority when they practiced and when they trained and when the trainer took their money and let them do Canadian destroyers or anything like that. Willie says he can't hear me. Because it wasn't can you hear me now? It wasn't a priority when they practiced and when they trained and when the trainer took their money and let them do Canadian destroyers. All right, I'm going to check it real quick. All right, 1 second. I'm going to double check. Can anybody hear me? All right, 1 second. I'm going to double check. Can anybody hear me? Okay, I can hear me on the live, Willie. Can anybody else? Does anybody else have an issue with hearing me? Shout out to you, Willie, and everything you continue to do. The OG in the game was also had a saying in his promos, "Not stands alone." I remember bits and pieces, but even then, like having a tagline, like when you think of promos and you think of like Stone Cold, right? And he says, like, you know, give me a hell yeah. And The Rock, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? And things like that. And, you know, MJF has one. I'm better than you and you know it. Things like that. I'm not saying you got to have a catchphrase when you wrestle and things like that. But promo game is, like, very important to the professional wrestling thing. I think, to me, you stand out. You probably would stand out a little bit better if you send a promo and wrestling to a promoter and things like that, and that might actually help you instead of just a wrestling package. Because I'll be honest with you, if you're sending like a 2 to 3 minute video of you wrestling and your highlights, a lot of people aren't going to watch the whole thing. What makes you different? You know, some people don't have the opportunity to wrestle on AEW or AEW Dark or WWE or developmental and stuff like that. You know, some people really got to grind out there and hit those streets and things like that and make a name for themselves. But you always got to encourage each other. I think encouraging is like a big thing. You know, I remember y'all remember that movement, the support indie wrestling movement, and it had the turnbuckle and people was wearing it and stuff like that. It was trend. It was just a trend. A lot of people don't support. A lot of people don't do that, man. And even our own wrestlers, you know, I've always been an advocate for going to other shows to support either the company or support the wrestlers that are on it. And a lot of people say, well, I don't do that because I like to wrestle. You know, I want to wrestle and, you know, I don't want to do that. Or they may have to work and working and other responsibilities. That's definitely fine. I understand that. But it's just like, to me, would we be the main one? Sometimes we get upset that a lot of people do not support us, or some people don't. And then it's just like, you know, if I have an opportunity to support my brother Justin Amazing or KO Kendra somewhere else, or Stampede Larkin, Miles Mercer, or anything, the Cobra, JPH, if I want to support them, I'm going to support them at another company. Now, I also do know that some people don't go to other companies because they got beef with the promoters and stuff like that. So there we go. Hold on. He got it. I didn't want to butcher it, but what? I am the urban American dream. I stands alone. You try to take my title, I'll break your bones. Willie the Bomb Richardson. But yeah, some people have beef with other people, and it's just like, to me, I don't have beef with nobody. Like, I may not hang out with somebody no more. I may not talk to them or anything, but I don't have beef with nobody. If I want to go support my friends or whatever who wrestle, y'all give me a second. Y'all hear my baby. All right, we back. She did a tumble the stairs, apparently. You want to say hi to everybody? Say, hey, everybody. This is my little baby. Say, hey. Yeah, our babies be, but yeah, sorry about that. Y'all know I'm a father. But promos are very important. Ain't they right? Promos are important, huh? Kids. But yeah. Say hey again. Yeah. But yeah, I've always supported friends and stuff like that at other companies and stuff like that. You know, I know a lot of people don't do that because they say, you know, they don't want to start any beef with somebody they don't like at the company and things like that. But, you know, I've been blessed to not like have anything outside anybody. You know, I know how it is, and many of us know how it is for some of our family members not to show up, or people showing up one time and things like that. And sometimes people say they're going to show up to the next event, or they don't call it wrestling, they call it boxing or MMA or anything else that is not, even though you tell them a million times, you show them pictures, you show them videos and things like that. So I've always been the one like, okay, well, I'll lead by example if I have to. And I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people that support other shows and things like that. The support indie wrestling movement. Like I said, it was more of a fad, a trend, and some people still do it. So I've always done that. Hey, if I see a young guy, whatever, and if the match is fire, the match is fire. Like I went to see Square Circle Megastars Acts of Violence this weekend, and a lot of people who I know were there, and it was a lot of great matches. It was a great show from the beginning to the end and things like that. So, it's okay to support your brothers and sisters in the companies and businesses and stuff like that. This is what I do. I'm not trying to say go out and do it, but I do it. Well, I kind of am. I encourage it, but I do know that other people, they have an itch, and that it's hard to take care of that itch because you want to wrestle and you want to do a whole bunch of wrestling and things like that. And so, I always talk to one of my homies, and he'd be like, I don't watch other people wrestle because they don't do it right, and then I get irritated. I get irritated when they do it wrong. So just food for just food for thought. Huh? Say hello. Hello. That's my little baby. Say chee. Yeah. But going into it, yeah, with wrestling, it's hard work. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's just you have to invest. You have to work hard. You have to achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. I can't believe I said that line, but you can definitely achieve it. Reach out to a whole bunch of companies. Make sure they're legit wrestling companies. Don't just go out. Trust me, I've done it. People say, hey, Classic, you want to come do this show? It's a benefit show. And then I was like, yeah. And I went, drove all the way out there, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? Confederate flag, all this stuff. Want me to, man, I don't even talk about that story. That story was horrible. That was like the worst wrestling experience I had. But going back into it, there's going to be hit and misses in wrestling. Sometimes, we want a match to go a way we want to, and then it goes the opposite. And sometimes we think it's not going to be good, and then it works. There's a lot of learning trees, Willies, Atlas, Seabread, a lot of these guys who've been in the game for a long time that will actually help you and talk to you for free because they know what it is. But now you don't see a lot of them anymore because they're sick of the product, and some people don't see that they still have value to the game. A lot of these guys, it took them a while to even step in the ring because they had to get boots, so they had to work out. They had to do things like that. Nowadays, it's led with the ring, and I'm going to show you how to do these moves, but you're not going to show psychology and how important it is to keep it together. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't doing it, and that's why I'm very critical, and I have guys like them speak on it, and they tell me how they feel about it as well, because we need that. I understand the wrestling is all about being, including everything in every form of wrestling, but you don't have to be down with that, and you don't have to accept it. Death matches and yard stuff and craziness and serious injuries and stuff like that. And I know that a lot of people are very critical on me. I'm like, man, you don't like nothing. Or why you always saying something? Or why you always showing something? I'm like, because I love the business. And you don't have to tolerate certain things. Sometimes it's a better moment. And trust me, I've had some better moments. I messed my knee up. That was a better moment. Instead of trying to practice something, I'm like, no, it's going to be big at the show. And then mess my knee up because of it. So some of us do it, and I still learn. I'm still learning and things like that, but I'm also trying to encourage and stuff like that because I know what it's like. But I do want to say this before I leave, though. If you are a wrestler and you are going through a negative time with wrestling, it might be best to still be positive in that negative, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out to you. I remember you was doing it, too. I remember you was redrawing Shaggy and Scooby. Shout out to you, sir. It's not a coincidence. I was like, you know what? Let me just motivate these people real quick. But as I'm talking to another wrestler, to another wrestler and everything, and AJ, shout out to you and everything you continue to do, sir. If it is hard for you to promote, don't tell the promoter that it's hard for you to promote. Honestly, no. Tell the truth, shame the devil. If you like that, and you may that may be why people aren't booking you. That may be why people don't want to pay you and stuff like that. There are plenty of times where I've seen people. I've been in group chats. I'm not airing nobody out. Uh, I've been in group chats where a person is like, "Oh well, nobody's gonna come if I sell tickets." I don't think that's good to tell somebody that's gonna book you and intends to pay you. Yeah, hold on, mama. That intends to pay you. I don't think that's a good thing because it's just like we're investing money. People are investing money and time in you, and then you're like, you're not even gonna try to sell a ticket or do a promo or show up to do anything like that. I think that is very disrespectful because you put mama, stop it. I think it's very disrespectful to do that and then just expect people to just book you because you're good or you're athletic. You want to go upstairs?
Yes.
Okay, you can go upstairs. Knock on the door, they'll let you in. But going back into it, it's very important. Like you have to carry yourself. It's called professional. You know, when you apply for a job, you can't just say, "Oh, well, I can only give you 50% of the hard work that y'all need. Y'all need 100%. I can only give 50%." That's the equivalent of when people say, "Well, I've try to invite family and family didn't show." That means you got to invite people that's not your family. That means you still have to promote yourself. You still have to do a lot of things. And I think that is very unprofessional and very disrespectful for if you do want to work for a company and then you do ask that company, how do I wrestle? What can I do to wrestle for you guys? And they say sell a ticket or something. And then you say, oh, well, nobody's going to come. If that's the case, I wouldn't want to book you if nobody's going to show up. That's a food for thought right there. It's definitely a food for thought. If you're thinking that, you know, you're not going to sell tickets, so that means that you're low key kind of telling yourself that you're boring. You're telling me that you're boring. You're telling me you're not going to have what it takes to be a wrestler. If that's that mindset, me as a sound like who ain't the Raptor, but anyway. With that being said, going into it, like I'm a promoter, right? So I have to promote my business, and I do ask the people that I book to promote the event, promote promos, a whole bunch of things and things like that. But I know as the promoter, that is what I have to do is to promote and things like that. And if I have that mindset, well, people not gonna show up anyway, I shouldn't even promote a company. So if I'm saying that is not, if I'm saying that as a promoter, why? What make you think that works for you as a wrestler? I don't care how much talent you got. If you already out the gate saying nobody's going to come or I tried and I'm not going to do it anymore, what? That don't work. That don't work. That don't work. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not even sorry. This is Motivation Monday. Get up, get out, and do something. Make sure you do the right thing. That's not something you won't go to a job interview and you won't say that. So don't say that to people who run companies and things like that, especially professional ones and things like that. I've had to invite multiple people to shows and things like that. People I've never seen before and never knew, but now they come and they support and things like that. You know, okay, if my family don't want to go, I can get some friends to go or people and stuff like that. The more people who know, the more people will show. And I think that you just saying all of a sudden nobody's going to show up, why should you even wrestle? You're showing that you're not even promoting yourself. And like I said, not looking down on nobody or anything like that, because I'm in this business and I'm learning too, man. This is year 11, but at the same time, man, sometimes you got to call it a spade a spade. How many books you got in this game? You can't do that kind of thing. You can't have that kind of thinking to win, even if, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, those days of selling tickets, we don't have to do that anymore. That's fine. You can believe that if you want to. But at the same time, if you're just like, nah, nobody's going to come anyway. I've sent stuff to my family. My family never went and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, send it to other people. Promote it to other people. Hey, would you like to see me wrestle and things like that? I got people who I work with go to it. I remember, you know, a lot of people talk about this at the time. You have to invest high in yourself. Investing is also promoting yourself. Some people will want to see some people wrestle or see you wrestle or see a wrestling show. Some people don't even know about the independents, and that's crazy because there's a lot of money to be made. And me and Jonte keep talk about this a lot. That there's a lot of money to be made. It's just that a lot of people don't take advantage of it because they don't want to take that risk. But then they also don't tell nobody nothing. That's very important. Being professional and stuff like that. I have to learn. It's called professional wrestling. So it's just like, to me, that's very unprofessional to tell somebody that you're not going to sell tickets for them or you're not even going to try to promote. As a promoter, I know what I have to do. I have to promote. I have to invest. I have to pay for this. I have to do this and I have to do that, things like that. I'm not saying that as a excuse. I'm using me as a example as to why you saying you can't sell tickets or you can't bring people to a show. It's not a good thing to get booked. We are encouraging people. This is Monday motivation. Just something to say, you know. Also, people are going to say stuff about you. People are going to say stuff. This is my last thing, I promise. People are going to say stuff about you, and people are going to say stuff about your company. Some things are worth saying. Some things are not worth saying. Sometimes you do have to keep it moving. If a fool is arguing with you and you arguing with that fool long enough, people are going to think two fools are arguing. Let stuff go. Now, me, I disagree with some things and I'll speak on it. But what I won't do is I won't harp all day or hours on it unless it's something to be obtained, a great form of knowledge, a better resolution and things like that. But some stuff is stupid. You know, I don't like death matches. They look dumb to me. But some people like them. Some people think it's some of the best things, and some people love looking at them and want to do it. I'm not saying who like them, y'all stupid or nothing like that. I just disagree with it. I have a disdain for them. I do, but some people like them, and that's your choice. I won't spend all day on saying why I don't like them and why I think they don't make sense of things like that. Some people will. They don't do this. We don't do this here at the Take It Home podcast. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, me and my wife, we run C3 Ultimate Wrestling. You got a lot of people who say stuff about my company sometimes. You got a lot of people that don't like how things are run. Some people get mad because some people aren't booked anymore. Not to say I'm not booking them anymore on purpose. Sometimes it's hold on. All right. Sorry about that. That's it for the last one. But going back into it, yeah, you got a lot of people that say so much stuff about my company, our company. They say a whole bunch of stuff saying like, you should book this person, you should book that person. To me, I don't care about that part because sometimes you do want to see the best at the best company and things like that. But then, you know, like I said, when I was with my wife, we talked about guys versus gals and stuff like that. You know, some people was upset that it was a themed of an intergender show. And, you know, I defended it sometimes, and then sometimes I just let stuff go. And then you had some people who were wrestlers that kind of was coming off disrespectful, and I handled that professionally because they decided they wanted to say something. And then I was like, okay, well, if you're going to go there, I'm going to go there with you, but I'm going to do it professional. I'm not going to call you out your name. I'm not going to call you dumb. I'm not going to do all of this stuff because we still have a professional wrestling company. We have a lot of things that we want to do with this company. We have a lot of stuff going on, and, you know, people have receipts. And my thing is sometimes you have to kill them with kindness or professionalism. You know, I got wrestlers that was supposed to be at my show, some wrestlers that was supposed to be booked, and they didn't. You know how many times I want to empty the clip on that? But I don't. I let it go. Cam, give her that. Give her that. Just give her something because y'all. Ooh, I'm about to get on y'all. But anyway, you know, I want to empty the clip on people who missed, who missed the booking on purpose or who lied and stuff like that, or who forgot that they was booked. That kind of stuff happens, and it's just like, to me, it's just all I can do is forgive and move on, because it's gonna be a time where this kind of stuff won't be happening, or if it do, we move on from it. So that's what I'm saying. Everything doesn't need a reaction, especially if you're one of these younger guys that's in the business. I know a lot of us have social media channels, platforms, and stuff like that, and a lot of us feel like we need to say everything. Like me, I don't mind saying everything, but at the same time, I'm not here to just try to like attack people and stuff like that. You got a lot of people who lost bookings because they said something the wrong way, and then they try to turn around and renege and apologize, but it was too late because it was already said and people screenshotted it and everything. We're living in a time where people are looking at people's Twitter's accounts from 5-10 years ago, and they're seeing that they said either something hateful or something that everybody, the social society, disagrees with. Stop being loud, y'all. But at the same time, you have to learn how to be professional. So bet high on yourself. Know your worth. Be professional. You can do it. Some people are going to say no. It doesn't matter how talented you are. Even if you got a good promo game, that's okay. Find a company that will give you that opportunity. Make a company possibly. Do these kind of things to help yourself, to help elevate yourself. Listen to a lot of these guys that's been in the game for a long time, that respect the business and stuff like that. You're not always right. I'm not always right. You don't have to always have a rebuttal and things like that, because it's not worth it. Some things, psychology is very important, but psychology, it looks like looking at wrestling as a whole landscape is just getting poured down the drain. There's only a few left who hold it. And it's like, I'll be looking at stuff and I'll be like, yeah, I couldn't do a match with them because I'd say no out the rip if they want to do something like that. And that's just what it is. What's my mind? Stop. Cam, you see I'm on live, bro? You gonna play Bop It while I'm on live? See, Red, what do you agree to disagree on? Because my kids want to play Bop It. All right, I'm gonna wait for C Red to respond. But investing is a very important thing. And then even like C Red, he's like a great example of somebody who does invest. Two people. No. I agree with that. I'm not saying like I know I'm not saying that everybody knows the is the know all be all thing and things like that. Like I said, I say something and then sometimes, let me cut this down a little bit. Sometimes I will say something and then somebody will disagree. And then it's like, to me, I don't take it personal. I would say the same thing. I would be like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Okay. But yeah, I agree with that. We can agree to disagree. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? So some people do take that personal. I'm not sitting here saying like I know a lot of people that's the know all be all, but at the same time, it cannot just be for me. I don't have to like it, and that's fine. And now we're living in a time where like companies is very like tribalism and things like that. But I do think that there is some kind of standard that we should have. Some people like to do certain things I wouldn't do, and that's their prerogative. And sometimes I can speak about that. And to me, it's not a personal attack, but sometimes people take it personal. And I don't, like I said, I haven't really taken a personal critique since 7 to 8 years because I just be learning. And sometimes I have an ear. Like to me, like this live thing that I'm doing, taking on podcasts, like this is an investment, like to me. But I was encouraged by wrestlers because, like I said, if you knew me before the Take Home podcast was a thing, I used to just go live on my phone on Facebook, and then a lot of people said that they like this stuff and they want to hear other wrestlers' opinions. They wasn't saying like they agree with everything that they said. You get what I'm saying? But they were saying, okay, this is a lot of knowledge. Let me hear what Willie said. Let me hear what Atlas says. Let me hear what C-Red says. We had John Bullard. We had a lot of people, Justin, Mark, like we had Brandon, Beast Mode. We had a whole bunch of people, and it's just like sometimes they would say something, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I feel like this. So do I think that everybody's right 100% of the time? No. Do I think that there should be a certain standard? Yes. You know, like I said, standard is subjective, but at the same time, I do think there's some things that be like, hey, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't go by this. That's how, you know, I feel about certain things. But some wrestlers, they start off way different from what I do. And that's fine. That's their choice. But like I said, I don't have to agree. Like C-Red said, you know, we can agree to disagree. You know, there's people that probably listen to me all day or listen to me for a little bit and like, all right, Chris, I disagree with that, but I respect you. And that's fine. I mean, in life, you're not going to agree with everybody's thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. You know, it's a shame, you know, even in Revelation, it says that people will go to war. And we're looking at people go to war over these kind of situations, you know. Not today, because all right. I'm not hurting my kids. I'm telling them to stop. But seriously, yeah, you know, and I made videos about this a lot. I said that wrestling is subjective, but I don't think the standard should be subjective, if that makes sense. I don't think, you know, there's certain things, but then again, it's so many trainers, so many promoters, so many wrestling companies out here now. It's, you know, and you know, C-Ray, you was on here with me and we was talking about how wrestling is becoming a joke. When we talked about the Walmart guys, we talked about the guy that falls on like broken microwaves and stuff like that. And then we also talked about the dog, the lady who was with the dog that pinned the guy and stuff like that. You know, to me, that's not something that should ever be in a locker room or ever be done in a wrestling ring. But then you will have some people that will debate me and say, hey, nah, you need to do something, or wrestling is changing, you need to get with the times and things like that. Now that I won't say agree to disagree, because I think that is stupid, you know. Not calling a person stupid, the dog stupid, definitely not. I don't want the dog mafia to come on me and get on me and own that stuff like that. I don't want that. But, you know, just some things that shouldn't be done at all. But I just want to say, get up, get out, and do something. Work hard, invest in yourself, invest in gear, promo, training, studying. Some people do seminars. If you feel like you got a person that's great and all that stuff, seminar. Background check on these companies. Make sure see, there we go. We got one. See, make sure the background check, make sure it's legit companies and stuff like that, because you do have people that just want your money. They don't train you or nothing like that. They want you to train yourselves. That's never a good thing. If you actually want to be in this business and train, you know, you can't just look at YouTube all day and then be like, okay, well, I'm a fully trained wrestler because I found out how to be a wrestler's training list on playlist on YouTube. You can't do that kind of stuff. You have to really invest. If you know that these guys have been in the long time, if you've been in the locker room, some people are saying this person has been in the business for X amount of time, or this person knows a lot of stuff. Listen to this person. This person is very important. Like I've many a times, and then some would ask me, and I wouldn't have nothing to say because I was too busy trying to listen. You get what I'm saying? So that's very important to remember. I will leave you guys right now because one, I'm hungry. I gotta feed these kids, and I know their mama gonna cuss me out because they was loud. But anyway, y'all know that lady. That's my queen right there. But I hope you guys are having a great day. God bless you guys. Wednesday at 7 if you guys are free. If you go to Facebook and type in Kingdom Crusaders International Ministries, I'm a deacon there. We are talking about biblical love, so make sure you guys pay attention to that on Wednesday at 7. That's my final day for lesson for the month of February. So shout out to my co-host, Kevin Young Senior, for the media, and also he has his own channel. So check that out as well. Also, they're not sponsors. I gotta get them some love. Cookies. Because you here, C-Red, and I love you, and these cookies are very good. I get some orders on these cookies, man. I'll try to get some more information. And shout out to Limelight. All right, guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I need more topics, so y'all need to hit me up in my inbox. I got some interviews that I'm going to line up. I don't want to say anything yet, but I do have more interviews that I want to do, but I also want to do more topics. So remember, get up, get out, and do something. This is Chris Classic, and let's take it home.